Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're all still with me. Uh, so yeah, it's only been a few minutes since I left off in the last video. Like I said, I'm just breaking these up into reasonable, good stop areas and so forth. And like I said, in this particular episode, we're going to start going through the quest books and the mechanics of how the quest book works. And I may touch on some of the other little tips and tricks and secrets, like I said, on some of it's really basic Minecraft ideas. Some of it will be specific to certain mods and stuff like that. But let's get going and see if we can actually accomplish something today, alright? Okay, so we're back in the same area that we were at, like literally right where we left off. And this is where we're going to set up our home base. So the first thing I want to do probably is start thinking about oh, there's clay down there too. That's outstanding. The first things that I want to do is start thinking about where I'm going to put a house and where I'm going to put a garden and stuff like that. When you start farming, you can put it like right close to your water, because as you know, until you get a bucket, you can't move the water. So that's something to think about too. But yeah, so we're pretty much gonna kind of work over this area and get things set up for getting a house going and so forth. So what I'm doing now is I'm still kind of looking around and seeing what stuff is here. There's a cave there. That should be gangs of fun. Excuse me. And well, too much soda, I think. So there's a couple different types of trees here. There's the spruce trees and oak trees and stuff like that. There's a lot of the magical flowers from the Botania we were talking about in the last episode. And so, yeah, just kind of getting a feel of what direction to go. There's another. Oh, it's just a hole. All right, well, there's coal there. We'll want that. All right. So, let's get this stuff off our hot bar here for a second and take a look at our quest book. So, like I said, this mod pack is called the tutorial, and it's super basic. And basically, the premise of this mod pack is it has a lot of the common mods. You know what? I'm going to show you a list of the mods. Let me show you how to do this. Like your escape button to get out, and then you can look at the mod options. Oh, it doesn't have it. Options. Well, okay, never mind. I can't show it to you because they disabled it. But sometimes you can actually see the mod pack list of all the mods that are installed, and it can be kind of helpful to see what mods you're going to be playing with and so forth. But like I said, I chose this one because it is very basic, and it'll go through the basics of getting going with these particular mods and how to get started with them. So basically, you just have the quest book here in your hotbar. You right click on it and it opens the book. In order to close it, you got to hit the escape button. Alright, and then there's a lot of text in here that you can read on your own, but you'll see things that'll prompt you like click here to start, and it gets you into the book. On the left side is quests, kind of like a big snapshot overview. Sometimes this particular mod called HQM, or Hardcore Questing Mode, there's other parts of this that can be enabled, like reputation. You have to do a certain amount of things in a specific mod or group of mods and so forth in order to raise reputation for certain things, and that will unlock certain things that you're allowed to build and not allowed to build. It'll hide recipes or lock recipes, and it won't let you make them until you've got your reputation up to a certain level. This doesn't have it turned on, so not too much to worry about. But you may see that in other mod packs. Alright. Over here is kind of a lives function, and when you're in like true hardcore mode, you have a limited number of lives. limited number of times that you can die and respawn and pick up where you left off. That mode is not enabled. I could do that in this pack. I'm not going to, because I'm probably going to die a lot, and I don't want to ruin the video series because, you know, I'm a derp. But yeah, so you could click on more info there and stuff like that. This is the party pack, so if I were to open this up to a LAN game, which eventually I will do something like that with Shotcat, but I could create a party in here, and we'll go over that some of the time, but just know that this is where that is. So what we're looking at here, this kind of, like I said, this is kind of an overview of what's available in the book right now. And then you click here to open it, and it goes to the next page. Now, when you're in the HQM book, you'll see that there's a little arrow down here, and this is to go back. All right. But you can also right-click in the book. It will also take you back. So instead of having to move your mouse cursor all over the place to try to do things, you know, it's just a little shortcut button. All right. Left side of the book, they call them chapters. All right. So you have like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and so forth. The ones that are grayed out are locked. You can't even open them. You can't get into them. All right. So if I click on this, nothing. But chapter 1 is open. And again, you have a quick summary over here. But once I click on this, left click on it, now this synopsis is talking about this particular chapter. All right. So it'll tell you what's available in that chapter specifically. All right. And this is kind of like a synopsis of the chapter, what it's about, what the quests are going to be about, and so forth. All right. This is entirely made by the person who made the mod pack. They make their own quest lines up and so forth. I'll be honest with you, some are very good and they're very logical in their progression, and you'll go, you know, like right down the line, and they'll keep you progressing forward without too much effort. Some of them not so good. Some of them will be like these outrageous gathering quests, like you gotta, you know, mine up a million bazillion cobblestone. And you know, I've heard it expressed multiple times by some of the people that, you know, I'm fans of, that you know, the gathering quests and so forth. Why do I need this? I'm not going to use a million bazillion cobblestone for anything, so why do I need it? So for me, a good quest book is one that has, you know, you gather the things that you're actually going to use for a purpose, you know, or you're likely to use for a purpose. So that's basically what that's going to be all about. Okay, so I've clicked on chapter 1, and now I'm going to click on the open button here, and it's going to open the chapter. And the same thing applies here. I could right click, or I can click on this arrow and it'll go back. This will take me back to the main menu, this little button right here. All right. So I could right click and go back and look at the chapters list again, and go back like one level back, one level back, one level back, and so forth by right clicking. But yeah. So quests are these nodes that you see in the book. You know, they're organized differently depending on the person who made the pack. But they basically are in, well, I would say 3 states, but I'm going to go ahead and say that there's 4 states. There's going to be ones that look like this, which are completed. There's nothing to gather out of them. There's no rewards or anything. It's done. And you could go in and look at it, but there's nothing. You know, it's already done. Then you have ones that look like this, where you've worked on the quest and you've actually got it to a point where it's completed and it has an unclaimed reward. All right. In this case, it wanted us to have a quest book. There's some stuff here that you can read through it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time reading, honestly. It's, you know, it's good for educational purposes, but you know, I'm familiar with it, and if you want to read it on your own, hey, you know what? Play the pack. It's really not a bad pack. So yeah. Now there's 2 sections that will appear down here with quests. You're going to have one that's called rewards, and these are the items that you will get for completing the quest automatically. All of these. Okay. Then there's going to be another section underneath which will say select reward or select or something along those lines. I forget. We'll see it when we get to one. And then there'll be like 1 or 2 or 3 items down here that you have to click on before this claim reward button will become active. Alright, now there's no selection on this one, so I just claim reward and it'll give me all 3 of these items. Or all, this is technically 4 items, but you know what I mean, these 3 things. Yeah, sometimes, I used to get stuck because I'd complete the quest and there'd be nothing else for me to do, and this wouldn't highlight. It's because I was an idiot and I didn't select an option down at the bottom. Honestly, guys, sometimes I've seen quest books where these things are broken, and I'm going to turn this thing. Well, I'll do it after. I've seen them where they're broken and the quest book is just broken, and you can try to go back in through the curse, launch your website and stuff, and report to the mod maker that, hey, this particular quest is broken, whatever, it's not working. And that's important for the mod maker so he can fix his pack or her pack. Alright? So I'm going to claim this reward, and you do that just by clicking on it. And as you can see, these 3 items are now in my inventory. I hit escape to get out of the book.